Let me talk about what I think makes me a good climber. Here we go. 1, I am consistent. Man, when I tell you I'm consistent, I'm telling you that the only time I ever missed a climbing session was when I got up, got ready, went to the gym, and the gym was closed because it was a holiday. And because of me and the nature of who I am, I don't really celebrate those type of things. So every time I go to the gym and it's a holiday day and the gym is shut down, it's always a big surprise to me. Like, no. So I never miss a climbing session. I would say that my consistency is the equivalent of addiction. It's almost sad and slightly unhealthy to a fair degree, if I do say so myself, and I do say so myself, because this is me saying things about me. 2, I want it to be better. So I basically climb with the goal of one day climbing V15 and or putting up my own V15. Now, will I ever get there? Is it even feasible for someone of my caliber? And the question is, and the answer to it is, I don't care. All I care about is putting forth as much possible effort as I can towards this one goal that I have arbitrarily made for myself for no particularly good reason besides the fact that I like the number 15 and climbing. And every time I fall off of a hard climb that I believe that I should have the capabilities of doing that day or within that time period, but I don't for one reason or another, I don't just shrug it off. Nope, it weighs on me like a sweater. And I don't like wearing sweaters. It's hot, summertime right now. And so when that frustration hits me like a pot that I'm stirring, I don't like to wallow in my sorrow. I just like to sit down, look, and assess at what went wrong. Well, I couldn't do the climb because of X, Y, and Z. Let me implement X, Y, and Z so that next time another situation like this happens, in fact, let's just make sure this situation never happens again. Next time I go up to a climb that I believe I should be able to do, after touching a few times, I will do it because I will have made the pre-required preparations to not feel frustrated again. 3, I don't make excuses. If I can't do a climb, the answer is always very simple. I need to be better. And better can come in many shapes, forms, and sizes, but it's never I'm too short, I'm too weak, too dumb, lacking of knowledge, beta, etc., etc. It's never the problems itself fault. It's not the route setter's fault for setting it. It's not even the rock's fault for being carved that way. I just need to be a technical mastermind, is what I say to myself. I just need to be better, and complaining about my physical attributes is doing nothing but slowing me down in my pursuit of trying to be better. So instead of seeking out to make excuses, I seek out to make changes. I have this body, how can I best optimize it? I am too heavy, well, I'm sure I could lose some weight. I'm too weak, well, there goes a hangboard. I'm not flexible enough, well, I can most definitely stretch some more. Given enough time, and any problem from my perspective will become feasible. 4, climbing is my gravity. Some people like to go to the bar. Some people like to partay, concert, vacation. Me, myself, and I personally just like to climb. I work a job so that I have enough money, food to climb. I pursue certain avenues in my life that will allow me the greatest amount of free time and availability to climb at my disposal, at my pleasure, at my whim, without being obstructed by other unnecessary outside life type events. I have 2 gym memberships. I have a punch pass to a 3rd gym, and I have a home climbing wall. This gives me a lot of spices of life to go do climbers at the highest so that I don't ever particularly get bored. I have 5 crash pads for when I go outdoor bouldering to prevent ankles and knees from breaking every time I fall on the ground. I have 2 ropes. One is yellow, one is green. I got 12 quick draws in case I ever want to do ropes for some odd reason. Point is, I have surrounded myself in a sphere of climbing opportunities. 5, not okay with being stagnant. There are some climbers that go to the gym and climb, and if they improve, great. If they don't, they're having a good time. For me, having a good time means becoming better at this activity that I do seem to like to do, I'm sure. And because of that, I live a training lifestyle that has prevented me from stagnating or plateauing ever since I started climbing, with a periodic change of training programs every 2 to 3 months. For say, currently I am doing a training block where I am doing hangboarding now. Before that, I was doing outdoor projecting. Before that, I was doing nothing but kilter boarding. This change of programming type style every 2 to 3 months allows me to work on different skills and improve those as the months go on by, so that there's always a sense of progression. Now, I will say that I look at strength training as a skill, not so much a strength. The skill of understanding how to get stronger, I believe, is a skill, not so much a strength. And because of that, the act of acquiring skill is more of like a problem, not so much a pure physical might. Maybe if I do this differently or I do this differently, I'll get stronger. And because I was able to do this differently, be able to do this differently, I became smarter. I think the smarter you are, the easier it is to improve your strength. And therefore, I like to take that avenue as opposed to just how strong can I be? No, how good can I be at getting strong is how I like to look at it. And because of that, I like to look at strength training as how can I garner the most benefit while exposing myself to the least amount of risk. How can me watching this guy sprinting and his sprinting training overlap with this climbing training that I'm currently doing? How can I cross-reference all these different sports, basketball, even freaking chess, into the understanding of how to climb better to help me become better? Because I'm just looking for similarities across the board and seeing what works, applying it to myself to see if it does indeed work. Experimentation in a sense, you know? 6, I like climbing. I don't really know when it happened, but one day I realized I like climbing. And I liked it a lot. And I realized I liked it a lot when I started letting everything else go for this sole purpose. I remember I used to do handstands. I used to train legs like really hard, but then once I let handstanding go, once I let leg training go, I just realized, oh, well, no, I'm just a much happier person now that I'm just doing nothing but specifically climbing. And unfortunately, I'm not the most genetically gifted climber. I've seen real gifted climbers in real life. What I've done in 4 years, they did in 10 months. A climber who's been climbing for 6 months has made more progress than me my first 2 years of climbing, and that's a very common occurrence that I see. And I sometimes look at some of these climbers and I'm like, I wonder how good you would be if you train at least half as hard as I do. But then I very quickly realized at the end of the day, I really only care about me. Whether I project by myself for 10 sessions straight or if I climb with other people for 10 sessions straight.
Stick it.
Come on.
At the end of the day, I'm just gonna keep climbing. And if the people around me stop climbing, well, I'm not going to stop until I feel like stopping. And those are some of the things that I think make me a good climber. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time, partner.